Hello, hello, everybody. I want to help you out with your annual update and resource request. These are the tips from Lisa. I have to say that I was a little confused, just like you. I wasn't there for helping Famida write up our Curriqunet. So instead, we met with Grace Estrada to work on these together. And I'm going to tell you how we decided to fill it out. And for the biology department, this is exactly what I'm going to do. So no secrets for us. First of all, we're going to fill out the first page as Famita showed you. I was going to tell you some of the highlights that you want to address should be remembering that your audience is just your friendly committee. We have 4 classified professionals, 2 students, 8 faculty, and 4 managers. So we are your typical colleagues at EVC who may not know much about your program. So think about how you might teach us about it. We want to hear some good news about the last year. We are trying to figure out where to invest our limited college funds. And as your representatives here, we're trying to make good choices. And remember, we're volunteering our time. So keep it concise, informative, and write, a brief paragraph, maybe a long paragraph, definitely not an essay. And we're not going to grade it, of course, for spelling, but that would be nice. Going to take you to the second page, faculty and staff. This says at the top here, list any additions to faculty. This could also be deletions. Did you lose someone? This is where you can tell us. If you have a small program, you're going to fill out quite easily the full-time hours and part-time hours and the classified. For me, I have a large program, so I'm reaching out to Tina Wynn for the loading of faculty and classified. Then I'm going to do a little math, which is fun. Math is fun. And go to VP Alexander's handout for calculating the hours for all of these spots here. Of course, I can count the full-time and part-time. I'm good at that. Department next, department program goals and commitments to action. This, when you add an item here, it will offer you 2 goals for this is the educational master plan. Okay, so we have 2 things we're working on this year: eliminating equity gaps in goal achievement and shortening students' time to educational goal completion. When you add an item, you can pick either of those. And then for each one, there will be another pull down menu. And so let me show you. If you add item, strategic goal, I'm going to pick the first one. And then the key actions, you're going to see there are several. So this has 12. The other one has 8. Does it go any further than 8? I think 8 is it. Now, I'm going to recommend that you do your best to try to fill out every key action with 1 to 3 sentences. I could not write all those myself. I had to ask my colleagues for help. So with this email, I'm going to include an Excel spreadsheet that you can share on Teams or OneDrive to get their input. Of course, some of them I can't address, like this one, fully implement AB 705, because we're not math and English. I'm working in the biology. But I'm going to do my best to support them, and maybe transfer level coursework support. I could do that. So do your best to fill these out. Okay. Next, we have curriculum. Now, get the committee excited about what you're doing. Are you being are you bringing in new courses, innovation, updating old courses, deleting courses and bringing new things? Tell us what you're up to. And of course, service areas, you won't have curriculum. Just let us know that. Say, hey, in our program, we don't have any curriculum. Thank you. And simple sentence is fine. Next, we have student learning and service area outcomes and assessments. This is a challenge for 1 paragraph because there is a lot to say. But remember, paragraph gets, short and sweet would be good for us. So start with Grace Estrada's SLOAC handout for tips. And she can tell you, she has a beautiful handout. If you haven't seen her handout, it's I'm envious of how organized she is and colors and clear and concise. Lovely. The assessment report compliance, like what percentage do you have finished? Any updates to your SLOs, PLOs? I assume this would be SAOs for any service areas. Okay. Next, we have technology and equipment. So this is any changes to technology or equipment over the past year. Technology is pretty much anything that plugs into the wall, not just computer. Got it? Technology changes. The keyword is changes here. Keep it simple with a paragraph. Remember your audience. Next comes budget usage. So did you request last time? If yes, how much? How much did you receive? As I'm working on this now, this has not been saving this box for me on Curriqunet. Not a big deal. Just put it in the box below. Okay. So give us, it says provide a brief explanation of your budget needs. So maybe a few sentences about your previous requests is appropriate. Then a paragraph about your budget needs comes next. Which SLO, PLO department goals is this linked to? Again, refer to Grace Estrada's handout with writing a little bit about the average mastery or the rationale for the resources requested. Definitely going back to all this is very important, okay? So be sure to bring up at least one example of a need from an SLO, SAO assessment report, trends in your SLO, SAOs. I don't really know SAOs very well, but I'm assuming that you have needs that support students and you're going to find it here in your assessments. Okay. Are you requesting additional sources? You'll just pull down yes, and here you're going to press save. Next, we have your future needs in the allocation, resource allocation request. The way you do this is you click add item, and there you'll get the choices of future needs, classified, professional, faculty, facilities, technology, equipment requests, supplies, or nothing. So not sure why you would fill this out if you didn't need anything, but we need quite a bit. So we're going to fill this out. When you, let's see, let me press cancel here. When you ask for faculty, we are using an example number here that is probably the best for step 6, I think. Actually, I can't remember what step it is, but this is the number I was told to use from business services, 104026. And remember, this request will bypass the budget committee and it's going to go to the faculty prioritization hiring. Wait, faculty hiring prioritization committee. Can you tell it's 10 o'clock when I'm recording this at night? The one-time expenditure line is not saving for me in Curriqunet here, so not a big deal, but the total cost, salary and benefits, we're going to assume for a faculty is 163. Then it says request link to SLO, PLO, SAO number. Just so you know, if you write the number of an SLO or PLO or SAO, the committee is not going to know what in the world it is. So you're going to have to type out the sentence. All right, so the number is not actually helpful to us. There are then 3 initiatives if you want to check them, if it's appropriate for this. But right now we seem to be focusing mostly on the EMPs, the ones that we had here at department and program goals and commitments to action. Next, we have classified professional requests. Likewise, this will bypass the budget committee. So we have, I wrote here, ask your manager. We asked our dean for the sciences and the lab tech is 66,000 base. Adding, again, the one-time expenditures where I wrote the total expense only because it wasn't saving. So the total costs and salary and benefits for lab tech 3 is about 105,680 and 99 cents. Again, type out your sentence. Try to connect these to SLOs, PLOs, SAOs to keep this loop that we need to close with our assessments and how we're improving students' success in our programs. Okay, facilities. If you have an ongoing budget need or a one-time need, you're going to put it here with the amount and a few words. This goes to facilities committee before it goes to the budget. Again, try to write a sentence on the SLO. Technology, the amount, items, and a few more words. This goes to the tech committee before the budget. Try to write out an SLO. Equipment, supplies, how much yearly, how much one time, and definitely write some assessment results here, PLOs, whatever you need to tell us, yeah, we need more of this. We found that students don't have this ability, and so if we had this, we could help them. Got it? Ongoing budget needs, these are where you can put the contracts. And of course, now I know you got this and you're understanding what we're going for. And ongoing budget needs for equipment. By the way, this is why I wrote this one here. If you have a large amount, like the biology department, there's no need to list every item and its cost. So that is a practice of the past where we had, $175,000. Everyone came and said what we needed, and the committee didn't understand what most of the items even were, right, in the biology field. So we're going to keep it more general this time. It will be up to the manager to decide the priorities, and the department will decide how to spend it. So you tell us how much you need, and remember, we're not going to be able to fund all of them, so we'll do our best. But if you receive funding next year, be ready to come back in this annual update to explain how funds were spent and how it improved the program and assessment outcomes. Got it? There you go. So then at the end here, it puts it all together at the bottom. Nice. Okay, so we can see the amount. Other considerations. This is where we have safety issues. Keep it simple with some bullet points, federal mandates, another brief sentence. We are getting tired of reading by now, and we believe you if you think you have accreditation mandates, and we will do our best to fund your program. And finally, is there anything else? Last or not least is the additional resources. So this is Fund 17 or any grants that you have for your department, program, or unit. Some of you may have many of these. It's very important to list the items, as it says here, the name, purpose, specific ways that it can be used, and the award amount awarded last year and how much was spent. So following directions is very important here as a teacher. This is what we do too. -2 points for not following directions. So if your team is asking for technology, supplies, equipment, or contracts that are already covered by a grant, the rubric scoring is -2. Yes, it is. So we need everyone to be asking only because they need it, not because they want it, and a little more. Finally, the additional information. I can't believe that there still might be something left to say, but if you didn't find a spot to put it in the areas above, write it here. If there's nothing to add, we're just your normal people who could use a little hi, thanks, quick note, or just bye. All right, there you go. Thank you.